feel great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking, and this is episode number 742 of the Immigration Answers Show. How's everybody doing? What's going on? It's Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. I'll be here for the next hour trying to answer your immigration-related issues. Let's talk about things. Let's talk about what you got going on. We've been hearing some crazy cases lately. And that's sort of par for the course around here. I think that's what keeps people coming back. Let's see who's here. Our friend Donna is here, giving big ups to everyone. Kwaku is here. Are you back in Kentucky, Kwaku? How are you doing? June is here. Adrian says hello. Hina's here helping me out. Yassine is here. Hello. Yassine wants to get Daniel in the office or in the show. I need to remember that. Pyrote says hello. Jay Cruz. Chillin' in North Dakota, emphasis on chillin'. Z and S is here. Let's see. I think Daniel was here before Donna started coming. Cold day in DC. We got Tony in the house. Lulu, Titanic Love, Tennessee. Military Bishop is here. Roll Tide. Ella is here in Los Angeles. Stay safe. Everybody in California. We got Tennessee giving the bless ups. Young gal can cook. Hello from Qatar. Nikki is here. Hello, Nikki. Thanks for that. My TikTok videos are helpful and funny. Well, hopefully we'll get to keep them coming. Good afternoon. Raphael says hello from Tampa. Sega's bummed out that it's Tuesday. Got Miguel, Shauna. Junie's not giving up. That's good. Oh, Yasher's here. Yasher's the king of the emojis, especially the rose emoji. Yasher's the king of the rose emoji. See, there he is again. Thank you, Yasher. All right. Yasher's giving it up all over, and Rich is giving the big ups to everybody. All right. Let's go and get started. Angel, if you please turn off your camera, I will pull you up. He's trying to turn off his camera. I'll come back. That goes for you too, She. If you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up. I can't have anybody on camera anymore because of the election and because who's coming into office. So let's start with She. Hello, She.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm super excited to finally get my time with you. I've got a bunch of questions. So maybe I'll just dive in because I know there's lots of people waiting to ask questions too. I'm calling about myself. I'm Canadian. My husband is American. We've been married for over 10 years, and we have already been through the green card process. But I surrendered it in 2021 when we returned to Canada. I wish I wouldn't have done that, but I have. So anyway, I filed for an I-130 in February 2024. And the time frame for my husband's employment, which is the reason why we moved from Canada to the States, the time frame changed. And so he came down in October of 2024, and I came down on November 27th after our Canadian house sold. So we do have an immigration lawyer that we have spoken to, and we let him know that our timing changed. He didn't seem to think that we needed to do anything different. But now that I'm here in the States, I'm feeling very nervous about the whole thing. So I feel like, from what I understand, there's two options, and that's my question, is I'd like to weigh those with you. My two options for how to move forward from here is to either stay in the US and return back to Canada every 179 days and hope that I don't get flagged and pulled into secondary or banned from entering into the States while I wait out the rest of my time, or file for an I-485 and an I-131 and then just stay here in the States while that's going on. But I also understand that comes with a host of challenges as well. So I'd like to hear what advice or thoughts you've got.
All right. So first of all, let's not gloss over the surrendering of the green card. How did you do that? Like, did you mail it back to them? Did you fill out a form?
I did fill out a form and mailed it back to them, and then received, I'd have to go back and find out exactly, but I did receive confirmation that they had received it. And I did that because my accountant in Canada had suggested that if I didn't do that within a year, that I would then have to pay taxes on both sides of the border because I still had my green card. So that's why I'm calling it surrendered it. I don't know if that's the right term, but mailed it back to them.
Okay, no problem. And so when did your spouse file the I-130?
February 2024,
And when did you enter the United States?
November 27th of 2024.
When you entered on November 27th, 2024, did you have the intention, were you 100% sure that you were going to apply for adjustment of status while on this trip?
No.
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 Yeah. If you did, that's a misrepresentation of entering on a non-immigrant status when you really had immigrant intent. Right?
Correct. Yes, I understand that.
So if you come from Canada to the United States with the intention of applying for adjustment of status, that's a violation of your visa, and it could lead to a misrepresentation charge, which would then mean your husband would have to file a waiver, and the whole thing would be a lot more complicated. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So November 28th. So if you, let's say in March or April, decided that you wanted to stay here instead of going back and applying for adjustment because you're worried about Trump or you're worried about your ability to come and go as you please, and you decided to instead file for a green card, we've gotten that case approved many, many times. And so you would simply, if you make that decision, take the I-130 receipt notice and use that, like you said, to apply for adjustment of status to that of lawful permanent resident, temporary work card, temporary travel document, all that good stuff.
Okay.
So I don't have a problem with that. And I'll say one other thing. The federal government doesn't generally like it when people give their green cards back, right? And I think Montreal would give you a much, much harder time about that than any USCIS office in the United States. So I think you're much better off having that fight here in the United States than you are having that fight in Montreal, just because they can do whatever they want. They can put you in secondary inspection and you could just wait forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And my goal, I mean, as I'm sure as everybody's goal is, I don't want to do anything that is going to jeopardize the success. It's a pretty I think of it as a pretty straightforward situation. There's really nothing that's
for the tendering of the green card. That makes it like, if I were your lawyer, I would do a Freedom of Information Act request to get your whole file. I'd love to see what they did with your file once you made that request. I'd love to see that because I've never seen that before. Right.
So is it possible for someone to change their lawyer once they've started with one lawyer? And
oh, sure. But I'm not, yeah, we could handle the adjustment piece and we could track down your file. Sure.
Yeah, because the other thing is we went on, we had a call with the lawyer last week, and he went on and he said that according to the I-94, which I was not familiar with, I guess you can go on there and type in, your information. It tells you what your time frame is, and I have it calculated, literally counted the calendar at 180 days less a day takes me to March 25th, but the system says that I need to return to Canada on April 16th, which is a whole month, almost 5 weeks before. So I don't know why there's a difference in that. Can you speak to why there might be a difference to that? Because I can count up to 179, 180 from the day I entered. I know the day I entered because it was the day before Thanksgiving. And wasn't even asked when I crossed what my intention was. The agent at the border crossing just simply said, "Let me guess, visiting family?" And we laughed and said yes, because we were. And he handed us back our passports and said, "Have a good time." And we cross all the time. So being a split couple. So it was the weirdest thing. So I'm sorry, Jim, what's a recommendation from you? Should you and I have a conversation offline and see what you can do to help us?
Yeah, just email and say, "I'm she, and I was first caller on the day," and we'll go from there.
That sounds great. I will do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Shi.
Thanks, Jim.
See ya. All right. Angel's back. He's got to turn off his camera, and I'll be happy to pull him up. I don't know. He's not turning off his camera. I'm not sure why. Let's go to Dave. Hello, Dave. You're on mute, Dave.
Hi, Jim. Sorry, I'm driving. I have two
Dave,
questions.
I'm sorry, I can't talk to you while you're driving.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No worries. So here are the rules, folks. Let's go over the rules. The rules are you can't be on camera. Don't use your real name. Talk about your friend Alice or your friend Clyde or your friend Jimbo. Yesterday I said your friend Donald, but everybody got mad because I said Donald. So I won't say Donald anymore or Melania. I won't say Baron or Little Donnie Jr. or what's that shithead that looks so dumb? Eric. I won't say Eric either. All right. So we won't use any of those Trump names in our hypothetical, but you guys can. It'll be fun if you do. Let's go to JK. Hello, JK.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
First of all, I want to say thank you for your service because I was in Pakistan and I was stuck in the AP.
Yeah.
And then we had to reach out to your office and then you guys helped us out. And then I'm finally in the US. It's been 2 months.
Nice.
And
we filed a lawsuit?
Yeah, we made it. Yeah, we had to file a lawsuit with your law firm because we were in the AP for like 1 year. And we was like very frustrated with the whole situation because we didn't know what to do. So, and then my wife now, she suggested me about you, and then we watched the videos and we decided to go with you guys, and it was like it worked within a month. Like they requested my remedical within the first month of filing the lawsuit.
Nice.
And then like everything worked out within like 1.5 months. So you guys are doing very good work. And I have one question to ask. So I'm gonna apply for my adjustment of status, inshallah. Like I was gonna apply it on 17th, like soon, like within a week. But I did my medical 3 months ago in Pakistan because I had to do a remedical. I came here 2 months ago. So do I need another medical for the adjustment of status, or I can just go with that one because it's not expired yet?
Generally, you can use that other one, but if you want things to go faster, I would do another medical.
All right. Thank you, Jim. That's all I needed to ask.
I'd say like 50% of the time they say, yeah, we're not going to use that old one, and then you add 2 months to your case.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, that's what I'm gonna do now. I was just confused about it because I was planning to apply before 20th January, my case, but now the medical appointment I have is 23 of January. So it's just people are confusing me with the whole thing. Some people say you need it, some people say you don't need it. So I was like, I'm just gonna ask Jim and just go with whatever he says.
Awesome. Thanks, JK. Thanks for the call, bud.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you.
All right, bye. Z, if you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up. Here we go. Hello, Z. You're on mute.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, Jim? I hope you're doing. Yeah. I have a question about I passed my interview M400. I'm now in line for oath ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like looking at the people's experiences on internet, and like there's a lot of unknown stuff about this. So as far as I understand, USCIS has 120 days to make a decision, but when we are in line for oath ceremony, we already have a decision. So does this 120 days apply for the people who are waiting for the ceremony, so they can take their cases to the judge at that point, or not?
I can't believe it, but you just asked an awesome question, Z, that no one has ever asked me. That's a great question. So let's back up a little bit. When did you have your interview?
December 13th.
And they put on an alert that you had been approved and you're just waiting for a ceremony?
Yeah, they said I'm in line for oath ceremony.
And what city do you live, or where's the USCIS office that you had your exam at?
I'm in DC, so there's a huge backlog in DC already.
For ceremonies?
Yeah. I know people who have been waiting since like September.
In that same status as you, is like
Mm-hmm.
oath ceremony will be scheduled. Oh.
Yeah.
I would take the position. I would take the position that until you are naturalized, you don't have a final decision. And so I think that we could argue, and I might have argued this once before, because I've had USCIS play games with people for the ceremony. It's pretty rare. It doesn't happen that often. But I would say that if 120 days go by after your interview and you don't have a ceremony, that you could file a lawsuit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a great question.
All right.
But you're only a month out. Plus, we had the holidays, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not that I'm like really worried about this, but I was like looking at the people's experiences, and people kind of don't know what's going on with this. That's why I decided to ask you, so like I can share this with people too.
You live in the district itself?
Yes.
And when you say you look online and you see that people are having delays, are you talking specifically about people that live in the district or people that are dealing with Fairfax?
People live in the district have longer wait times than like a lot of people. Yeah.
I bet that's true. I bet that's true. Probably because there's not an actual USCIS field office in the district. Everybody's got to go to Fairfax.
Yeah.
And so then you're talking about, I know this sounds weird, you're talking about two different jurisdictions. Like here in St. Louis, we're on the eastern side of Missouri. So we handle cases for people that are in southern Illinois. And so those guys always get backlogged because they have to wait for enough people in the southern district of Illinois who live there, even though their cases were adjudicated in the eastern district of Missouri. I bet it's sort of similar to you. I bet that there aren't that many people in the district itself that are naturalizing, and I bet there's nobody advocating for those people, as so often is the case with people in the district. If that makes sense.
I called the court too for information. I called the court. So they said they hold the ceremonies every second Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, see, that sucks. Here in St. Louis, we do them every Friday.
Yeah.
Every Friday.
Yeah, that's why I think it's the backlog is really long. Like I think that's just the way it is.
All right. Well, if you hit day 121, call me up and we'll sue them. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll do that. Right.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hopefully you won't need to. See you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Boy, I like that question. I haven't had that question before. That would be a fun thing to litigate. Might even be fun to litigate on behalf of everybody in Washington, D.C. I haven't filed a lawsuit in D.C. for a long time. I went up there 5 years ago to get admitted so that I could file lawsuits against USCIS in D.C. Now we file them where the plaintiff lives, where our client lives. But that used to be fun, suing them in DC. All right, Riri's here. Hello. Riri.
I'm here. How are you?
Good. How do I say your name?
You can just say Riri is fine.
Awesome. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So Jim, I just got married in December, and we are working on the paperwork, which is very overwhelming, I must say. And so when I was looking at the 485, the adjustment of status, I noticed that we need to send the I-693 with that, the medical exam.
Yep.
So we were trying to get the documents in before Monday. It looks like we have everything, but we're not in for the medical exam. Is something that we definitely need to wait for to send that in? Or what's your advice? Nothing's
going to happen on Tuesday that will impact green card cases like yours. So in the old days, 6 months ago, we had the discretion of whether to send in the medical with the application. Now they will reject it if you don't send it in. So you have to send it in. So you have to wait until your medical.
Okay. Okay. I think we're going to contact your office because we are definitely a little overwhelmed with the process.
Oh yeah, sure. We'd love to help you. That'd be great. Just say you're Riri and you're on the show.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for everything.
Have a good day. Sure. All right. You know, one thing that's funny. Do you guys think this is funny? When I don't think Riri was going to do it, but sometimes people say bye. Bye. Isn't that a weird thing? Bye. Where does bye come from? I don't know where bye comes from. I don't know. I'm feeling sort of silly today. I'm feeling sort of silly. Now, we usually have good shows when I'm feeling silly. I've been relaxing a little bit more. I've been resting a little bit more, getting more sleep. I'm going to the Blues game tonight. I'm taking my two brothers-in-law to the Blues game that was one of my presents for them. So that'll be fun. And I figured out the way to get on TV is if you go to a hockey game, which is carried by like Bally's, or I guess now it's DraftKings or something, or Fox Sports. If you wear the baseball jersey or sweatshirt to the hockey game, if that network carries both hockey and baseball, they'll always put you on because that gives them a segue. Hey, don't forget, we'll be having the Cardinals broadcast coming to you live. Spring training starts in just a month. Yeah, Donna thinks I'm drinking too late. Yeah, probably. I don't drink, Donna. You know that. All right. Let's go to Waiter. Oh, Waiter's gone. Let's go to Lori. Hello, Lori. Hello?
Can you hear me?
A little bit. It sounds a little bit garbled.
Is it better now?
A little bit. Are you driving?
No, I'm in the car. My boyfriend is driving. I'm just
Okay, go
in the
for it. Yeah, we can hear you. This is a little better.
Okay, so I have kind of an extent immigration history with the US. It's quite not complicated at all. It's always been very easy to get a visa. And I was on school for a few years, and I applied for J1 visas to just come for a summer work and travel, just in a holiday at my school. And I met my current boyfriend on one of these, on the grace period of one of these programs. And I left the US. And, I mean, if I really wanted to just change status and stay, I would have just applied back there and then. But I didn't want to. I came to the UK, went to the UK, and we've been speaking for like every day, an average of 5 hours a day. We developed a really strong bond. And he came to the UK for 2 weeks. And then later, months later, I applied for a tourist visa because I was still eligible. And I wanted to come to the US for 2 weeks. So I came in November, and I changed my mind. I'm still here. He, um, we're still traveling. We're not stopped in one place. And he proposed. And the thing is, we could apply for a marriage visa, or just get married later. But the thing is, because I'm here for 3 months now, if I leave and come back, wouldn't CBP give me a hard time, put me in secondary inspection?
Yes.
Do you think that what like what can I do? We love each other, and he has a disability, and he's really improved with me here, and I have well I'm very happy to be with him, and that's the life I want.
Great.
I wouldn't mind staying in the US, but would it be approvable? Like what is my best shot here? Because I wouldn't mind. We just don't want to be. I don't want to have my visa revoked, even though I didn't violate anything, and there's no evidence suggesting otherwise that I did violate. So could I just stay?
So the first question I have for anybody who was ever on a J visa was, were you subject to that requirement that you go back home for 2 years at the end of your J studies?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. So none of your J's have ever had Rule 212E. You're sure? You're 100% sure?
I'm absolutely sure. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, and so when did you enter the United States?
On the 5th of November, 24.
And you didn't know that your boyfriend, now fiance, was going to propose, right?
I did not know.
Okay. So if you were to get married now, more than 60 days after your arrival, you could apply for adjustment of status, and your fiance could file an I-130 petition for you. Say, this is my husband. I want to sponsor him for a green card, and I want him to be able to stay while this is all pending, and you could stay while that is all pending.
And I would have status. It wouldn't be. Yeah, we just want to be together. I mean, the thing is, he could move to the UK, but
Mhm.
he has a disability, and his family, his father too, which they need each other. So I wouldn't be fine with taking him from America, but I just want us to work. So
Yeah, it can work.
could yeah. And yeah, one last question. So if I can remember, try not to take your time that much.
You're fine.
Um, yeah. So he, like I said, will it be a problem that he was on disability for so long, like for 3 years? If he's finally better and he's going to work now, he's able to work, he's applied for a job. So do you think that they would come after him for this?
So when a U.S. citizen wants to sponsor his husband for a green card, the U.S. citizen has to show that they can support the foreign national beneficiary, i.e., you. So they have to sign a form. It's called an affidavit of support. It's an I-864, and they have to submit their tax returns for the last 3 years. And so, if the U.S. citizen hasn't made, say, $32,000 a year for the last three in each of the last 3 years, then he still has to sign the form, but he has to find a co-sponsor, a U.S. citizen or green card holder, who says that if you, the beneficiary, get government benefits and you, the beneficiary, can't pay the government back, and your husband can't pay them back, then they are stepping up and saying, I'll pay them back if benefits are paid and not repaid.
So a family member, say his aunt, who is an elderly person, on but she said she does have the 3 years. Could she possibly co-sponsor?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the adjusted gross income. So a lot of times with elderly people, they are receiving money that doesn't count as taxable income. So then sometimes they don't qualify.
So what could qualify then? Sorry, I didn't. If you could clarify that.
Yeah,
Would it? Yeah, go ahead.
it's usually salary or income from some other source, but it all goes to line 21 on their tax return. What's the adjusted gross income? That's the number one most important thing.
I see. And okay, thanks for that. I think we'll contact your office.
Yeah, we'd be happy to help. Good luck and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. All right. I think I heard a little bit of a side character in there. I think his fiance was in the car driving. I thought but he had an audio drag, so it might have just been me talking to myself. Melissa is here. Hello, Melissa.
Hi, Jim. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning to you.
Yes. My question is, I need to tell you a little bit. I applied for a new visa in 2022.
A U
May,
visa?
yeah, new
Okay.
visa.
Your
May,
audio is really garbled. Is there something? Can you hold your phone up closer to your mouth or something? It sounds really garbled.
I think it's my earphone. It's not a really good quality.
Okay.
Can you
It's
hear
okay.
me?
I can hear you. It's okay. I'll just concentrate. Go ahead.
Okay. And I filed for the U visa on May 2022.
Okay.
And after that, they told me to go to do the biometrics, and I did. And I haven't heard anything, and I need a work permit. And I'm kind of thinking about, do you think it's worth it right now before January 20, we expedite the U visa bona fide determination so I can get a work permit?
You can certainly ask, but I don't think that they're going to expedite it. Those cases all take a really long time, like 2 years.
But what's the regulation for the bona fide determination? It's going to be 3 years now in May. They said it's less than 65 months they can give you a response. I haven't got anything
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, that's true. I just don't believe in expedite requests. I don't think they work very often. Have you contacted them at all recently?
Not yet. I'm kind of really thinking, but I haven't heard anything, and I need the work permit, and I need to do anything before.
I wouldn't worry too much about Monday and Trump for this kind of a case, but I think that I would start by calling them and bothering them. Then I would try to get a member of Congress where I live to reach out to them. And then if that doesn't happen, just to get the bona fide letter, the good faith letter, we could sue them for that if you really want to. But I would start by trying to bother them for a while to see if they'll do something.
If you try to expedite this case, how many months did they give you an answer to at least giving a work permit?
I don't know. I think that it's usually like a year or so total.
Oh my gosh. Because what's going to happen, because we will be 3 years. In 3 years, do they need to give me any reason or they not? How long should I wait for this?
I think you should do what I said. I think you should call them and start bothering them. And then if they don't give you any answer, then talk to your member of Congress. And then if they don't give you any answer, call me back and we can sue them. It's the only thing that works.
When you say call, you call the USCIS and what can I tell them?
Tell them what you just told me, that you've been waiting 3 years for your good faith letter so that you can apply for an EAD and you're not getting it.
Okay. All right. And then the congressman
Mm-hmm.
on my state, I have to write to him a letter or I'm going to call him?
Oh, they'll have what's called an immigration liaison, a little helper there. It's usually like a college student or something that will reach out to you. They'll have you fill out a form and then they'll make a service request for you.
Wow. All right. All right. I want to try to do that and I'll let you know, okay?
All right, good luck. All right. That audio was something. Laura thought she might be talking through a pillow. That's funny. Ms. Donna Thompson says, big up to the best immigration lawyer in America. His name is Jim Hacking. Up. Thank you. Thank you, Donna. When I was in the Dominican Republic, I met some Jamaicans and I told them all big ups. And they all started laughing because I knew big ups. All right. Ethan's up next. Hi, Ethan.
Hi, thank you for your service first and foremost.
Sure. Are you driving?
No, my wife is driving.
Okay,
So,
great.
I have a few questions for you.
Great.
First is a friend of mine. He have a problem in his country of origin. He's from Brazil, and he gets arrested and he stay over 5 years in jail. However, this is over 20 years ago. So for his country, in his country, he do not have any problem with the justice anymore. His background check is clean, and he's married now with an American citizen for over 7 years. I would like to know if there is some problem to apply without apply for adjustment of status without make a waiver.
What was the crime?
Is drug related crime. Yes.
Like
So the short
possession of.
story is he rented a part of the house that he was living for somebody, and the person that was living in this part of the house was doing drugs.
Mhm.
So the cops came and they arrest everybody. It's like they arrest the guys that have the drugs. They arrest my friend and his girlfriend at the time, his brother and his girlfriend at the time, and they put everybody in the same pack, and they make everybody feel guilty. I mean, they judge everybody as a guilty person. So everybody stay over 4 years in jail. That is for drug related.
Okay. Well, what I would say is that it's going to be very difficult for someone with a drug conviction that led to a 4-year jail term to come to the United States. It might be an aggravated felony. It might not allow them to be able to come at all. I would say, instead of asking me, Jim, do you think he can come without getting a waiver? I think you should be asking me, Jim, do you think he'll be lucky enough to be asked to apply for a waiver? Like, he's probably only coming with a waiver is what I mean.
Okay, so that's the interesting part. This guy, this friend of mine, he in fact applied for the visa, um, but because in the laws of his country he was already clean, he did not say that he have problem with the justice.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. So what you're saying is that because it got expunged or he was done or it was all
Yes.
cleaned up, that he didn't I mean, for everybody watching, if you've ever been arrested, you have to say I've been arrested, right? For the rest of your life. You just because you got it expunged or cleaned up or dismissed, or you did your jail time and now you're in good shape, none of that stuff matters. If you are arrested, you're arrested. If you're convicted, you're convicted, no matter what the state or the other country does with that conviction.
Oh, wow.
So now he's got a misrepresentation charge.
Yes, that's true. So
he's probably not coming.
well, he's already here. He's married with an American citizen for over 7 years now, but
Oh,
he
he's-
never applied for the adjustment of status.
He came on a visit visa.
Yes, he came one time and he stayed for like maybe a month, and then he come back to Brazil, and he stayed there for like maybe 6 months, and then he come back again to America, and this time he stayed and he ended up marrying American citizen for over 7 years now, but he never applied for adjustment of status.
So the DS-160 is where he lied. He didn't disclose the drug conviction when he got his visit visa.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, that's definitely a misrepresentation. And then the question is whether he can stay at all. And does his spouse or his children, do they have any health issues or anything?
The spouse depend on him to help with her with some real estate business. He fixed the houses for her.
That's not a waiver. That's
I
not a waiver.
mean,
That's not a waiver. That's a handyman husband.
yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So does the wife or the kids have any health problems?
No, they do not have kids.
They don't have kids.
No.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a tough waiver case. It sounds like, and as of right now, the federal government doesn't know that he's here and he overstayed.
I'm sorry?
As of right now, he's never filed for an immigration benefit inside the United States, right?
No, never.
Yeah. So it's funny. I should probably do a video on this. A lot of people are thinking, Trump's coming. I need to get my shit in order. I better file, right? But now this is like the worst time to file. Like the best time to file would have been the day Joe Biden became president, not now. Right? This is the worst time to file. Does that make sense?
Yes, it is.
In other words,
Yes.
he needs to do his best hiding if he can for the next 4 years, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, he was planning to apply, without disclose the past. He did a background check from his country and also from America, and he's clean. So he was planning to apply without disclose that.
That's just more fraud.
Oh, you make a snowball.
Huh?
You be a snowball, more problem.
Yeah.
Okay. The last question is: there is some problem if applying after without being out of status for too long. I mean, he's married for over 7 years. Let's say he decided to apply anyway to adjustment of status. He's married for 7 years right now. There is some problem about that.
That's the least of his problems. That's solved. That's the fact that he's out of status for 7 years. That doesn't matter if he's married to a U.S. citizen. That's all forgiven. It's all the other shit that he's got that's wrong with his case.
Okay. Thank you so much. The last but not least, is better apply for in paper or in electronically?
I don't want him to apply.
Okay. All right.
Ethan, see you, buddy.
All right. Thank you so much, Gene. Thank you so much.
You got it. Hina, that was a good call. That's definitely one to be thinking about. Ethan asked lots of good questions on behalf of his friend. All right. Yeah. Raphael says, sometimes it's best to do nothing. I think I just have a title. I think I have a title for my video. Thank you, Raphael. All right, Tori in the house. What's up, Tori?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Good. So Jim, first I just want to say thank you for all that you do for everyone on this channel and all the work that you do.
Sure.
So pretty much I am married to my husband. He's from Trinidad and Tobago. My family also is from Trinidad and Tobago. So we're in the process of filing our I-130 and I-130A. So took your advice on trying to get as much evidence as possible. Which has, of course, stressed me out because this is a lot of work. So again,
Yeah, it is a
kudos
lot.
to you for all the work that you do.
Sure.
He has been married before, and I was wondering, on the form, it doesn't really say where to put the dissolution of his marriage.
Mhm.
So where
so
do we include this in this state, or is it another part that this happens?
no, it should have prior marriages on there and prior divorces. I mean, you've got to show that he had the capacity to marry. This is an overseas case?
Yeah, he's going to be staying in Trinidad while we file for it, the paperwork.
Okay. And so he was married one time before?
Correct.
Someone in Trinidad?
Correct.
And the divorce happened in Trinidad?
Correct.
And the divorce is final?
Correct.
Yeah, so there should be a start date and an end date on the I-130 that asks about the prior marriages, and so you would just include the certified copy of the divorce decree with the application.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then I'm planning on going there next month. He does have a visitor's visa. And he's had it for 10 years. He renewed it and now has it again for another 10 years.
Great.
My only concern is, if he wanted to visit here, is that something we should do? If he does do it, is there something that he should have with him, like documents or something? Because it would just be for him to visit and then go back home.
So round trip ticket, proof that he has a reason to go back. The one thing that's most important is if they ask him any questions about coming to visit you, he's got to be honest, because just coming for one little visit isn't worth messing up your overall case and your overall goal, which is to get him here. So he should be completely honest with CBP that you're here and that he's just coming to visit you and that you have your plan is to go back.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Tori. Hang in there.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right. Bye. All right. Let's go to Dan. Hello, Dan. You're on mute.
Hi, James. Good morning, and thanks for the call. So I have a couple of questions. One is, I am a wife with filed for asylum for over 8 years, going to 9 years now. Our case is still pending, although we got a letter for a master calendar hearing, which is like removing proceeding. And it's been scheduled and been canceled, repeatedly, but we're hoping to go in for it in 2026. But my question is, now my wife should qualify, I believe, based on what I read online, the NIW, the EB2 category. So it's something we could file for, and we also thinking of taking that option. But my question is, being in removing proceeding, are we able to file for NIW without having any problem?
You came on a visit visa?
Yes.
You applied for asylum while your visa was still valid?
I think no.
Yeah, so then you're out of status and she can't adjust based on an approved, even if her NIW gets approved, she can't adjust.
Oh, okay. But with the asylum case, so the only choice sounds like staying on the asylum case.
I would say so.
No, okay. All right. And repeating a calendar hearing with the immigration court, is there any step you think one could take in order to get the hearing closer?
Why in the world would you want your hearing closer if Trump is in office? It's the last thing that you want. You want a trial date in 2029 is what you want. I mean, master calendar, that's just your first appearance. So Your case is just getting started. you want a hearing in 2029 or 2030 when hopefully there's somebody other than Donald Trump in the White House.
All right. I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. See you, buddy. I know people want to get their cases resolved, but you don't want to get it resolved with the administration that's coming. This is the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 742. Today is January 14th. Tomorrow's tax day for those of you who have to pay quarterly taxes. Donald Trump becomes president in just 6 days. I shot some new videos today. Let's see, what did I do? I did the problem of filing an I-130 without your 485. I did one off the show the other day, which was no 751 should ever get denied for not having enough evidence. And I did one other one. What was it? It was a question somebody had. Anyway, all good stuff. We have our Immigration Answers Show here. We have our Facebook group. If you're not following us on Facebook, join our Immigrant Home Facebook group. We'd love to have you there. Good to see Alejandra, our new U.S. citizen. Hello, Alejandra. If you want to text the word show to 314-470-3300, you can do that. And you can get a text when I'm going live with a link to the waiting room. And finally, if you have 60 seconds and want to leave us a 5-star review, if you go to reviewhackinglaw.com, there it is at the bottom. We would appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. All right, let's go to Sid. Hello, Sid.
Hello, Mr. Jim. How are you today?
I'm great, brother. How are you doing?
So far, so good. So I'm already one of your clients. You don't need to worry about me. But the couple of questions I have is for my sister and somebody close to me that is watching you but unable to join the show. So I work with Andrew in your this thing and has been doing well with his paralegal team. They are doing great job. So the first question is this friend of mine before he become a citizen, his wife filed for his step daughter and their son. But the mistake they did was she only filed the I-130. So the I-130 of one of them got approved, while the other one is still pending. However, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that friend of mine becomes a citizen. Both of the kids are still living to them. So my first question is that are they going to be able to enjoy the automatic citizen, or they still have to wait to go through the procedure? That is the question one.
So where are the kids?
They both live with the husband and wife.
In the United States?
In the United States here.
And do they have green cards?
No, one of them, when they apply for them, they only file for 2 of them I-130, waiting for I-485. So one of the I-130 has been approved, while one is still pending. So, but now their father become, so one is biological son, the other one is adopted son. So, and the father becomes citizen now.
And the biological son's case is the one that got the I-130 and 45 got approved on?
Yeah, yes.
And the adoption one is the one that isn't?
The other one is that the case is still pending. They just request recently for the birth certificate that indicates the adopted father's name, which they just sent to them. So now the father just do the swearing oath 2 weeks ago, and it was like, are they going to be like automatic citizen and they don't have a green card? So I said, I have a qualified lawyer, I can ask that.
So I would say the second kid, the one whose I-130 and 45 has not been approved, they're definitely not a citizen. And I would say the other one might be a citizen.
The one that has got the I-130 approved already?
They may be. And the one that doesn't have the approved I-130 and the 40. So the one kid has their green card and the other kid doesn't have their green card, right?
No, both of them don't have a green card. When they both when they apply for both of them, they only file I-130 for both the biologic son and the adopted son. Before the father becomes a citizen, they approve the I-130 for the biological son. They request for the birth certificate for the adopted son. Then, like a week or 2 weeks after the request for that, the father become the citizen. It was wife that filed for both of them initially. Then the father too become the citizen. So one got I-130 that has been approved. They are waiting to put the I-485 in or not. I just asked them to wait till I talk to you. The other one, I-130, still pending when they request for the birth certificate.
Neither kid is a U.S. citizen.
Despite the fact that they are living with them and the father becomes citizen, they are not.
Because they're not lawful permanent residents. That's right.
Oh, okay, that clarified that. The second one is my sister. She's about 45 years of age, and this one might actually.
Oh,
Hello, can you still hear me?
yeah, buddy. Go ahead. So this is for your sister.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm here, bud.
Hello, sir.
You can't hear me?
Can
Something happened to his audio. Ms. Jennifer, if you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up next. Here she is. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, good
How are you
morning.
doing? Good, good,
I'm
good.
doing good. I have a quick question just for my sister. She wants adjustment of status with an underage daughter who has autism.
Okay.
How can she go about it legally if she wants to adjust her status due
Based
to
on
taking care of her daughter who is autistic here?
the kid's a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And how old is the kid?
7.
So in 14 years, the kid can sponsor for their mother. Until
Oh,
then, there's no way for the mom to stay based on the child.
okay. So, in terms of guardianship for the daughter, if the daughter has to stay,
Mm-hmm.
there's no guardian for the daughter.
So I understand, but the federal government doesn't give a crap.
Oh,
They would say, it's great that you have a 7-year-old daughter, and she probably does need to stay in the United States, but that's not going to give mom any special, the fact that she has autism or any other thing. That there's no provisions that allow for exceptions for a U.S. citizen kid who has medical conditions. That doesn't mean the parents get to stay.
okay. Thank you for your time and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good luck. All right. Let's see here. Oh, Sid came back. Sid, you got that question for your sister? Nope, his audio is shot. All right, let's go to BK. Hello, BK.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Can't complain. Can't complain. I have a roof that I'm living under, so I'm just happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. I just have a question. I'm a U.S. citizen, and my wife got her green card through marriage, and we want to sponsor our brother-in-law, and I would like to hear from you what could be the best recommended path to do that.
Okay, so she got her green card through marriage to you.
Yes, that is correct.
And you mean your brother-in-law or her brother-in-law?
My brother-in-law, so that's my wife's brother.
So is your wife a citizen or a green card holder?
She's a green card holder.
So I hate to tell you, but when she becomes a U.S. citizen, she can apply for her brother, and depending on what country it is, it'll take anywhere from 18 to 22 years.
Wow, so that shot up from 10 to 15 years that I saw in your video previously.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
it's the F4 family-based visa category. It's brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens. There's just a huge backlog of people behind them. We have a case that we filed in 2010, right after we got started, a couple of years after we opened, and it's just about to become current.
Wow. Okay. So basically, will the documents be the same for when we sponsor our brother-in-law as when I apply for my wife's green card, or will that be completely different?
Partly the same and partly different. Was your wife in the United States when you did her process?
Yes, she was.
Yeah. So that form, the main form that you filed for your wife was the I-130 petition. That when she becomes a citizen, that'll be the form that she files for her brother.
Okay. And for the I have to wait 3 years for my wife to apply the US citizenship with green card, right?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty, that's all I have for right now, and thank you so much, Jim.
See you, buddy.
Take care.
All right. Lots of good calls today. What a great show we've had today so far. Let's see if we can wrap it up. A&J, hello.
Hello?
Hi, are you driving?
No, sorry. We're actually at the airport.
Oh, airport.
Just a question.
Yep.
So, I'm married to a US citizen. We filed our I-130 back in November of 2023, or it says it's been saying it's been actively processing since November.
I hope.
Um, So we're just wondering because when we check the case processing times on the other website, on the actual USCIS website, it's now saying 80% of cases are done within 16 months. But obviously, when we filed, it had a shortened duration. I think it said something about 11 months or so at that time. So when would be an okay time for us to potentially sue? Because we're going to hit 14 months on the 28th of January since our I-130 has been actively being reviewed.
And this is, well, okay. So is it 14 months since you filed it or 14 months since it became that classification of actively being reviewed?
I believe they received the case on November 7th of 2023. That's when my husband got the letter. And then I think it started to say actively reviewed like shortly thereafter, like almost like 2 to 3 weeks after. So
And
if
this is
not the 28th of November, maybe the December of 2023.
all that matters is the day it was received. What they say online, none of that stuff matters. So
Okay.
this is an overseas case.
Yeah, I'm still in Canada.
Yeah. So I would say that what we're seeing right now is right around 14 months of when the I-130 gets approved. So I would say if another 2 or 3 months go by past that, so like at 16 months, 17 months, that's when I would probably start thinking about suing them just to get them to approve the I-130 and send it to the National Visa Center.
Okay. Um, and another question, if it just so happened to be the case that I was able to come and visit my husband in the US
Yeah,
and hypothetically at a later time adjustment of status were to occur,
that
um,
happens. Yep, that happens for sure.
would there be any issue with that in terms of intention?
Well, if your intention when you come is to do that, that would be a problem. But if something happens while you're here, if you change your mind or you make a decision once you're here, that's a whole different thing. It really is about your subjective intent. If you come with that intention, that would get you a misrepresentation and you'd have to do a waiver. If you didn't have that intention and you could demonstrate that your plan was to come and you changed your mind once you got here because you're sick of being separated, that's a whole different thing.
Okay. And so if that were to happen, if I were to be there and then at a later time that decision was made, what would my status be? Would I be considered out of status? Like, how does that work? I don't know if that makes sense. Like, what would my status be in relation to the US?
So if somebody's in the United States on a visit visa or on a visit status, and while they're here, their I-130 gets approved, and if they didn't have immigrant intent and they applied for adjustment of status, they would have no status up until the time that they're an adjustment of status applicant. But once they file, then they would be an applicant for adjustment of status and just be waiting for their green card.
Okay, that makes sense then. All right, that was it. That was all for the questions then. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll be back. What time tomorrow? I think I moved that one around tomorrow. Tomorrow, We'll be doing the show at 1 o'clock tomorrow, Central Time, 1 p.m. Now, listen, if you want to get in the waiting room, a lot of people complaining about the waiting room. Text the word SHOW, SHOW, to 314-470-3300, and you'll get a text from my dear friend Hina. She'll let you know that we're going live with a link to the waiting room, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the alerts, and when we go live, you'll be the first ones in there. But don't wait to get in the waiting room. That's the key to the whole thing. Especially now that I can't see anybody, I just go right down the line. Who's ever next, I just call them up. Fun being with you all. Have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye, guys. Thanks, Hina.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are